G'day everybody, it's Bouncer. This is a bit different, isn't it? I am not appearing on camera today. No, I've decided, but my phone's blinging. I've decided that I'm going to do some hand acting. So today's video is going to be a bit of an example of my paracording toolkit. Now what I've decided to do while I'm, have a look at that on my wrist, while I'm indisposed and injured and I can't stand in the workshop anymore, and I haven't got a wheelchair, because an electric wheelchair that I can sit and whiz around in the workshop in, because certain insurance companies are playing silly buggers and we need to go and get a lawyer on them, and which is happening. But anyway, it's all a little bit, so I'm sort of stuck. I can't build anything, not really, no. So I need to do something to stop myself going absolutely bonkers. And so I've decided that I'm going to get into paracording. Yeah, paracording, making bracelets and ring pulls and all this other stuff. That bracelet you see there is one of mine. And that is a King Cobra style bracelet with a fluoro neo green herringbone overstitch pattern. And I haven't made the video how I made that one yet, so I'm going to make another one for a video. And if it's already up when you're watching this, you will see a screen referral spot either there or there or there or somewhere to go and have a look at it. If not, go back and have a look in the menu and it'll show up shortly. Speak my language. Anyway, so today I thought I'd show you what you need in a paracord kit, like when you're making paracord stuff. Firstly, this is in no particular order, by the way, it's the way the stuff comes out of the bag. A pair of scissors, and very important, lighter. Now you can use a standard sort of lighter, or you can use one like this, which I prefer. You might be able to see that with the lights, but it's actually it's a cigar lighter, or it's a jet lighter, they call them sometimes. It is, and it's refillable. You're going to need a refillable lighter, otherwise you'll spend a fortune. That gives you more direction on heat, and in future videos you'll see why. You need a decent knife, if you like working with knives. If not, you probably don't. You can get away with the scissors, but a knife's always handy. You need a pair of needle nose pliers. These are big ones. I use these to flatten out things when I'm heating them up, so that's why I have those. You need also, and you need the key ingredients. This, you can grab yourself one of these off of Amazon or eBay or any one of those places, or I might be selling them by the time you've watched this, in which case the relevant links for it to my shop and or to the place where you can buy them will be in the description below. Everything I talk about, there'll be a link in the description below. This is a marlin spike. Yeah. Now, for those of you who grew up with the Tintin cartoon books, the Hergé's Tintin cartoon books, you'll know that the captain in Tintin lived in Marlinspike Hall. I only realised it's named after one of these. It's called a knotter's tool. Pointy end, really good for undoing knots and tightening and cinching, which you'll see in time with me. Now, these are my go-to needles and bits and pieces. Those four things there are called fids. Right? The fatter ones are for $5.50. You get $7.50 cord, you get bigger cord, you get bigger fids. But basically, it's called a lacing needle. Okay? Inside that fid, I can see it here, I'm hoping the camera's picking it up, is a thread. And what you do is you heat up and melt a little bit of your paracord and you twist it in there, so you end up with it stuck permanently on the end of one of these. You'll see it in other videos when I use it. That's one I prefer, these ones that are like flat. We're working with 550. Some people prefer the rounded ones. These two are rounded, as you can see, but they're smaller. They're not sharp, They are a bit pointy, you know. I mean, they will draw blood if you really jam them into your finger, but otherwise they won't. These two are smaller fits, and I use them for using this, pardon me, for sewing microcord, because microcord goes in really well in that, and gets you sort of in and around all the joins and bits and pieces. All right, so some of them, and one of those. Now it just looks like a normal needle, because that's sort of what it is, except also blunt, and it's got a really big eye. Because if you don't have one of these fits for microcord, you can use the needle as well. Sometimes you need either. What else have I got here in my bag? Pair of side cutters, otherwise known as wire cutters or edge cutters, some people call them. They're good. They're handy for cutting. The plastic gets quite hard. Sometimes you need to do that. And I don't think I've got anything else up here. Have I got anything in the front bit? Yes, I have. Tape measure. Metal one like that, just a cheapie tape measure, or you can use a fabric sewing one if you prefer. And last but most definitely not least, ta-da! One of them. Everybody knows what one of them is. That's obviously a brand name, Sharpie. You guys in America, I think you call them Sharpies permanently. We call them Texters here in Australia, because back in the day when we were little, we used to get these little stubby ones, and they were called Texter, T-E-X-T-A. Black is your first go-to colour, because worst case scenario, if you burn something off and whatever, odds on black isn't noticed, okay? When you get better with it, you'll find out that there's a myriad colours of paracord, which means you can have a myriad colours of touch-up stuff. We use this to touch up singes and burns and bits and pieces to make them look nice and neat and everything else. You'll see that on my future videos, on my other videos. So eventually, you'll find yourself buying a big set of all the big coloured type textures. Not water-based. You don't want water-based. You want something that lasts and stains, because you're obviously painting. The other thing I'm thinking of trying to do is actually use ink as well to stain. So that's it, guys. Right there is the Paracord Maker's Toolkit. All of it. And it's what I use, because I carry it around with me. Bit of muck. I carry it around with me all the time, my paracord gear lately, because I can hang it on my crutches. And it's all in a bag, and it all packs down into something that I've sort of modified. This was a shoulder bag that I just cut down. So that's what you need. So, now, fids and marlin spikes. Go to eBay. Yeah, or Amazon is your best bet. You might find somebody selling them on Etsy. I might be selling them. So have a look in the description below. If you get a link to my shop and I've got them on sale, then buy them from me, because I could do with the money. I will be gradually increasing my paracord sales of stuff as we go. And of course the things that I make will in time also be on the shop. Things like that. In time, but not at this stage while I'm initially making this video. Alright, scissors you can get pretty much anywhere. A Sharpie or a texter you can get pretty much anywhere. Side cutters, edge cutters, or wire stripper cutters you can get at any tool shop. Tape measures likewise at any tool shop, anywhere at all. Needle nose pliers, same thing. Well, you know we can get knives. You get knives at survival shops or other shops, depending on what part of the world you live in. That's it. That's the toolkit. Please have a look in this particular area of my channel, and if there's any other paracord stuff up there, because this will be the first one I'm putting up. But there should be plenty of other making bits and pieces. You will see me using this gear. I'm not going to be using other gear. This is my gear. Everything that I make from here on in will be using this gear. Alright. Thanks guys. It's Bouncer. Cheers. Have a good day.